Well, good evening, Derby fans and addicts. Welcome to the 2022 Home Season Championships here at the Hangar at Oaks Amusement Park. As you might have heard during the introductions, a matchup that has been almost 3 years in the making, Mellons.
Right on the nose, and of course, introduce yourself, the majestic beast.
I am Mike Chex, working alongside the one, the only Ophelia Mellons.
That's
we will be bringing you tonight's action this evening. And we've got Amy Farrell Fowler, your head NSO this evening, and Doesn't Matter is your head referee.
Really exciting game. Obviously, the championship, everything's on the line. Guns and Rollers undefeated so far this season. And the Heathers, 2-1, losing only to the Guns and Rollers. And here we are. We are already underway wearing the star for GNR. That would be Zip, jammer of record for the Heathers, Mia Palau, but it is Zip through the pack first, our first lead jammer of this game. Heathers holding it down at the very tip of the apex, kind of a vulnerable position, but Zip not a super jumpy skater, so I suppose you can do that.
Mia Palau trying to find purchase against the defense in the back of the pack. Charlie Chang working alongside You're Going to Be Sorry in a brace two-wall. Meanwhile, Zip up front working against the foursome of the Heathers defense. Zip knocked to the inside, going to be reset into the first turn.
Nobby covering the whole width of the track there, and it looks like we finally have Mia Palau breaking through the pack, not lead, of course.
Nope.
4 points.
Zip wasting no time calling out that jam, knowing all 4 points were already in the bank.
If you got them, call them, get it.
That's right.
Big thank you to Jam on Hawthorne, the sponsor of our Jammer line. Portland's very best vegan friendly, booze friendly, kid friendly, omnivore friendly, everybody friendly breakfast. Jam on Hawthorne.
Jam is delightful, and this next jam is going to be delightful because your jammers of record, Scald Eagle for GNR, who is already your lead jammer opposite Bonnie Thunders for the Heartless Heathers.
Oh.
Bonnie, one to beat up front, gets around there and clear on the initial pass. Both jammers now eligible for point scoring.
Ouch.
Scald Eagle dances to the outside, picks up all 4 points and calls off the jam. GNR losing a blocker to the penalty box on that jam. I do believe that was Beans.
Wow, that's a world-class jam if I've ever seen one.
And a super fast jam. We've already had 2, and not even a full 2 minutes has been taken off the first half clock.
8-0, Guns and Rollers up. And of course, when these last 2 teams met, it was April 23rd, 2022. It was a beautiful night. And the Guns and Rollers defeated the Heartless Heathers by 17 points.
See, in the last matchup, there was only 15 difference between the teams. The last time that they played, only 17 points difference. The last 2 times these played. Hopefully this game going to be as good as the last one. Little Red Rider jamming for the Heartless Heathers and is your lead jammer. Evan Helical now clear of the pack for Guns and Rollers. Penalty being assessed in turn 1. Back block penalty going against Little Red Rider. Power jam now for GNR, and since Little Red Rider was the lead jammer, this jam going to go the full 2 minutes.
Pretty sure that Little Red Rider has some points in the bank and will be returning to the track, maybe put some more up.
Dez to the penalty box as well for the Heathers, down a jammer and a blocker now as Evan Helical makes it through the pack. 4 points on that scoring pass. GNR losing Beans to the penalty box once again. Pack set up in turn 3. Evan Helical tries to go low into the outside, was shut down, but on a roll now to the penalty box. Evan Helical clears for 4.
Shoot.
And a forearm penalty now to Little Red Rider, who had just come out of the penalty box, going to return and sit for another 30 seconds. GNR in their second power jam this jam.
That sounds exhausting.
It absolutely does. Evan Helical now to the outside, clears the pack for a full 4. Beans now rejoining the action. Pack slows up in turn 1.
Dominant jam here for the Guns and Rollers, making it look a lot easier than it is.
Absolutely. Evan Helical jumping turn 1 for 4 points. Little Red Rider now standing in the penalty box for the Heathers, going to be released shortly and is.
On a roll, squaring up there, trying to buy some time and psych Helical out a little bit. Helical is escorted out of bounds there by Stan.
Yep, and going to be recycled all the way back by Stan. Direction of play penalty goes against the Heartless Heathers.
And they come out strong. That's a 20-point jam for Helical. While the Heathers put up 4 of their own, no longer scoreless.
24-point difference between the two teams. Just about 5 minutes played here in the first half.
They both have a lot on the line here. Obviously, Guns and Rollers really so badly want this, and they got to make sure that they have that mental game to be able to control that desire.
You are absolutely right. It's been well chronicled that this is GNR's chance at their first championship as Zip through the pack, picking up lead jammer first. Hot on the wheels, though, Mia Palau. Pack now speeding up through turns 1 and 2. And it looks like we've got no score in that one, Melons.
Fists in the air for ref solidarity.
That's right. No score, still 28-4.
Love to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Holler. Make Holler in Selwood your new pre-bout game, food, and drink ritual. If you're not here this time, come join us. We'll have games all season long, all year long.
That's
There's
right.
so much derby to see. We even have Wheels of Justice games coming up.
That's right. Wheels of Justice, your reigning WFTDA champions, will be in action later this summer. Scald Eagle on the jam line. Stan, last line of defense, gets around Stan. Lead jammer going to GNR.
Wow.
Stan to the penalty box. Forearm penalty being assessed. Bonnie Thunders clears the pack. He is eligible to score, but is not going to be given that chance. Scald Eagle with another 4-point hit it and quit it for GNR.
You're not likely to see Bonnie Thunders not get lead 2 times in a row.
Right.
But if that's going to happen, it's going to be against Scald Eagle. 32-4, Guns and Rollers in control of this game.
Heartless Heathers have already amassed 4 penalties so far this game. GNR just with 2. We're a little over 6 minutes into the game. Mia Palau for the Heathers jamming opposite Liquor and Split. Liquor and Split through the pack first. Again, lead jammer going to GNR.
That's 3 leads in a row for the Guns and Rollers.
Wow, pile up in the entrance to turn 1. A forearm penalty being assessed, and that is going against Mia Palau. Another jammer penalty for the Heathers. That is their 3rd jammer penalty as Liquor and Split clears the pack on a 4-point scoring pass.
On the outside stab, Mittens tying up Tarantula, which is a really good strategy.
Absolutely. Liquor and Split clears for 4. Stand back out on the track for the Heartless Heathers. Mia Palau still sitting in the penalty box.
Tenacity not wasting any time, doesn't want that pack to come to a standstill. Moves up, comes in for the O sweep.
Tarantula being moved out front. Another forearm penalty being whistled.
That's Liquor in the penalty box. That's a forearm.
First jammer penalty for GNR. Now a power jam for the Heathers. And since Liquor was your lead jammer, we are now going the full 2 minutes in this jam. Mia Palau clears the outside of the far straightaway. Now eligible to score points for the Heathers. GNR's defense going to be tested right now. Palau escorted to the outside, going to be brought back by Tenacity. Beans with the huge drawback
Why
there.
not?
Right.
Great timing.
Liquor and Split re-entering play for GNR. Pack is now made it approximately halfway around the track, now in the far straightaway.
Oh, and that's Beans with the takeout on Mia right in front of that wild CBD penalty box.
Palau tried to but could not stay in bounds. Beans hit just a bit too much. Pack becoming an amorphous blob in the middle of the far straightaway right now as every skater that's not in the penalty box is right there. And I believe that was Mia Palau with a defensive knockout on Liquor and Split.
That's the way to do it.
Was trying to drag back, but the jam called to its conclusion.
Liquor puts up 12.
Kyle Adams, one of the coaches for the Heartless Heathers, out to talk to the head referee. Not calling for an official review.
Nah, just trying to get some words in. Telling them what to look for.
We're shown as having a timeout on the scoreboard. Neither team has been given credit for taking that timeout. One would think that as the Heathers are still gathered on their bench right now, that it most likely was them if this is in fact a team timeout and not an official timeout.
Indeed. Point to a bench.
Our timekeeper out on the track is signaling for a timeout, so it must have been a team timeout for the Heathers.
Well, I can tell you that our timeouts are sponsored by Zeb Counts Tabor, our Welcome to PDX timeout. Deb Counts Tabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Thank you, Deb Counts Tabor.
OMG comes out and gets Bonnie Thunders off the track as Headache is lined up to be the jammer now for the Heartless Heathers. Empty Wild CBD penalty box to start this jam. Evan Helical lined up to jam for GNR. Headache off the line first.
Hetty's first jam of the game.
2 to beat up front. That's Yogan Bisari working defense up front.
Morgan Levy giving it the 360 blocking, but buys time for Helical.
Headache just clear now as well. Both jammers eligible to score points.
That's 4 lead jams in a row for the Guns and Rollers.
And some jammer defense from Evan Helical on Headache. Calls off the jam, and we've got our second scoreless jam of the game.
Thank you to S1 Helmets. There, the streaming broadcast of Rose City Rollers 2022 games are brought to you by S1 Helmet Company and by all you fine people purchasing our feed. You're helping support our junior scholarships, our gear library, and so much more. Thank you for tuning in.
Glad to have you with us. It's Scald Eagle jamming once again opposite Bonnie Thunders, and one has to wonder if both teams are purposefully pitting these two jammers against one another as it's Scald Eagle through the pack first, again lead jammer. Thunders now gets through the defense in the far straightaway, clear on the initial pass. Scald Eagle tries to jump the first corner, gets called for a penalty, so now it is a power jam for Bonnie Thunders and the Heartless Heathers.
That would be an illegal contact, so that skater was either down or out of bounds when Eagle made contact. Great news for the Heathers.
If they can get Thunders through the pack, GNR now obviously going all defense. Out pops out Stab Mittens, and an exit hit on Stab Mittens, and Bonnie Thunders to the penalty box for a forearm. We're going to see a jammer switch off.
You don't see that very often, Chex.
You do not see that terribly often. Scald Eagle has been released from the Wild CBD penalty box and rejoins play on the track, but did not realize that a skater had dropped back. I do believe that was fatality for the Heartless Heathers. Draws an illegal re-entry penalty on Scald Eagle. So now it's Bonnie Thunders who will be in a near 30-second power jam now.
Wow. Bonnie just swings through right on the outside there. Tenacity was kind of like getting their feet set up. Bonnie's through. 4 points on the board.
Bonnie re-enters the pack looking for more. Already has a few in the bank. The thing for GNR is Scald Eagle will be released before the end of this jam that is going the full 2 minutes, and Scald Eagle being released right now. Thunders through for another 4 points, 8 points so far this jam. Scald Eagle clears the pack, has 4 on the board as well. Thunders low into the outside, beat 3, got to get by Tenacity at the front, gets knocked out in turn 4. Scald Eagle overtakes and delivers a hit on Thunders. Nice defense by Scald Eagle, who picks up 4 points. That ends up being a 12-8 jam in favor of the Heathers.
Well, that's exciting.
Well, that was a fun 2-minute jam, wasn't it?
So, like, there's such fundamentally different jammers. Bonnie, obviously, a little more meticulous. She likes to get lead, get a few points, and call it off. Eagle comes through with these really high-scoring jams. The last time these two teams faced off, Eagle had 2 28-point jams in the first half.
Well, and Eagle not afraid to take flight. Will try and jump the corners or the apex and is often successful. Well, you're right. We're seeing the defense against that. Moist on her own petard jamming for, I believe, the first time for GNR this game is your lead jammer. Stan jamming for the Heathers.
Well, that was quick and dirty. The Guns and Rollers have picked up lead jammer every jam for the last 6 jams. That means 8 out of 9 jams they've had lead jammer status.
Wow. And yet, they've only managed to procure a 32-point lead, which this is roller derby. A 32-point lead is not everything.
It's definitely within the ability of one jam of both of these teams.
Absolutely, and we saw the Breakneck Betties come from behind, down 30 points in the last game to take the win over the High Rollers. Mia Palau on the inside rail, your lead jammer for the Heathers. Zip goes down in turn 2. Tarantula responsible for the hit. Zip recovers and is clear on the initial pass.
Tenacity with a big takeout right there on the pivot line. But does lose a point. That's going to be one for Mia, finally grabbing the lead.
That's the thing about the Heathers, though. The few jams they've gotten lead, they have not gotten many points on the board to show for it. And they've been able to make up points on the 2-minute jams, but they're not really cashing in lead jammer for points yet.
Well said. 16 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this first period of this championship bout.
52-21 the score on the board. Headache jamming for the Heartless Heathers. Evan Helical for GNR. It's Headache now battling up front. I was going to say a brace 2-all, but it hasn't really gotten set in. Headache allowed to separate the defense, clears the pack. Lead jammer going to the Heathers. Evan Helical now clear on the initial pass.
Pack is finally defined there. The beginning of the turn 1. And Headache's got to call that one off. Good timing, though. Doesn't pick up any points.
Also didn't give up any, which was impressive because Evan Helical, I thought, might have been getting low enough to maybe sneak out a point or two.
Heathers have one in the box, but HR is standing, ready to join the ranks.
We are being told we're on another team timeout, this one called by GNR. The nice thing is though we're missing the blinking lights on the scoreboard, you can kind of tell which team is taking the team timeout based upon who's grouped up over at the bench. That's right.
Big thank you to Sizzle Pie, RCR's official pizza partner. Death to false pizza. Sizzle Pie.
I'd also like to shout out On Tots, the food truck that is here at the hangar. I got some in the break between bouts, and my tummy was not sad about that.
Oh, well, I'm excited. They're hosting a taco bar for us at the after party at Holler.
That's delightful.
Isn't it?
That's delightful.
Makes all the hard work worth it. We work for tachos.
You know what? Not ashamed to say that at all. So the Heathers are going to start with one blocker in the box. It is Scald Eagle out there jamming once again for GNR.
Is that Bonnie again?
I don't think so
Is that
this
Mia?
time. That's Little Red Rider.
Red.
Little Red Rider a little obfuscated by the stature of Scald Eagle on the jam line. Scald Eagle rolls to the inside, getting some offense up front, clears lead jammer. Goes to GNR again. Little Red Rider clear on the initial, giving up about a quarter of the track. Pack is really spread out in the far straightaway. There was a ref and skater takedown.
Two refs.
Exiting turn 2.
That was a skater rejoining the pack from the penalty box. But Eagle asking, you know what, give me a few more seconds. I'm going to go again.
All right, both jammers with 4 points in the bank right now. Scald Eagle coming up on the back of the pack. Tries to go left, then right. Little Red Rider overtakes and clears for 4 points. Scald has now evened up the score. 8 points apiece for both jammers. Scald checking in with the bench. Cleared Beans' penalty and then called off the jam. And really, at the point at which it's a 0-point differential, you're making the smart move, clearing the penalty.
In the last 4 jams, the Heathers are up a point. The last 4 jams are extremely competitive. Eagle coming out strong, though. 4 jams, 4 lead jammers.
I mean, not unexpected.
Not unexpected, but also awesome.
That's right. Bonnie Thunder's jamming for the Heathers. Liquor and Split in what we're told is her final game for the 5th time.
For the 5th or 6th time.
That's right. Jamming for GNR. And it's Thunders through the pack first with lead. Liquor getting knocked to the outside of the first apex, being forced to reset that stand on the huge drag back.
Oh, and Freddie, her fury as well.
Oh, now Bonnie was able to get by one skater, but ended up getting knocked out. And no, a track cut penalty, excuse me. So Bonnie Thunders to the penalty box.
Very rare sight. 1 penalty, make that 2 penalties, and it's obviously still very early. We're just through the first quarter of this game.
Liquor and Split trying to work against Stan. Stan getting some backup up front, now drops a bridge. Pack being bridged out, 1 to beat up front.
Dez has to drop, still barely a pack,
Wow.
and then Freddie has to let go.
So Liquor and Split clear on the initial pass. Bonnie Thunder's already out of the penalty box and working through the pack and is clear for 4 points.
This, of course, will be a 2-minute jam.
Will this be the third 2-minute jam or only the second?
Gotta be the third.
All right, fair enough. Liquor and Split being mired at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Bonnie Thunders goes to the outside, picks up 4 more points. This is the jam that the Heathers immensely needed. Liquor and Split still trying to find purchase at the back of the pack, which is set up shop in the far straightaway. Thunders working against the front. You're going to be sorry with the assist there, but Thunders clears for another 4.
Wow, that Heathers defense really locked down. Stand up front. Dez all over Liquor from 360 degrees.
That's right. Liquor and Split tried to play jammer defense at the back of the pack. Thunder shakes off the hit, goes around the outside once more. 4 more points for the Heathers. 16-point jam for Bonnie Thunders and the Heartless Heathers, and we now have ourselves an 18-point game with 12 and a half minutes to play in the first.
Pretty exceptional to get 16 points when you sat down for a minute.
No kidding. No kidding.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty spicy. And speaking of spicy, I want to thank Secret Aardvark, the local made flavor that kicks you in the mouth. Thank you, Secret Aardvark.
Wild CBD penalty box empty to start this next jam. Force Majeure jamming for the Heathers opposite Evan Helical. Evan Helical being recycled at the front of the pack, and Force Majeure, your lead jammer. Pack now finally crossing the pivot line. Evan Helical one to beat up front. Offense from MC Slammer.
Sassy holding it down, getting help from HR. Last blocker there. Way out of play, though.
Sassy trying to bridge the gap, and they had to let Evan Helical go.
HR will pick up that out of play block.
Force Majeure knocked to the inside. Did pick up 2 points on that scoring pass. Heather's still slowly now eating into that GNR lead.
Thank you to Rogue Ales and Spirits, locally made craft brews and spirits. Visit their Eastside Portland Brew Pub, featuring 15% off for Rose City Rollers League members, and I won't tell anybody if you tell them you're a league member. Tell them Mike Check sent you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. Mia Palau wearing the star for the Heartless Heathers, opposite Zip for GNR. Zip being held up at the entrance to turn 1. Mia Palau working left to right now, trying to go through the middle, it appears. Has purchase on the inside lane. Cannot stay in. Charlie Chang with the exit hit.
Using that whole meaty side of the body to stretch across the track.
You know, we have seen some very textbook, exactly appropriate hits coming not only from the blockers, but the jammers as well when they're entering the back of the pack.
Absolutely.
We are 35 seconds into this jam, and we still don't have a lead jammer declared, and now we finally do. That would be Zip from GNR.
Stan and Shredder Cheese holding it out as long as they can. Zip in for a scoring pass.
Mia Palau in the backfield trying to play some jammer defense. Zip now mired in the pack as it is constricted now. Zip dances around the defense at the front of the pack, clears for 4 points.
Heather's trying to get that lockdown in front of the Wild CBD penalty box. They have to let Mia go.
Mia looked like they were looking for a high block penalty there, and did not get it. And still lobbying for said high block penalty.
I am bleeding my own blood, referee.
Returns to the bench, probably not exactly happy because a high block was not assessed.
They're used to it. That's
fair. That's fair.
That's why you got to be able to. This is such a mental game because it's so intense. You have to be able to let that go, reset, and keep moving.
23-point lead for GNR, 9:15 left to go in the first half. Scald Eagle opposite Bonnie Thunders once again. Scald Eagle escorted to the inside. Thunders going against a brace 2-all at the front of the pack. Tenacity up there mixing it up. Beans as well. That Scald Eagle finding room in the back, clears on the initial pass. Lead jammer going to GNR. Thunders now clear, giving up a third of the track.
This is their 4th matchup with Eagle getting lead every time.
Scald Eagle giving orders from the back of the pack, pays off. Oh no, only a 1-point jam, 3-2. Heather's picking up 2 at the end.
Well done. Keeping it sharp. 1-point gain there for the Guns and Rollers. They take it the lead, 73-49.
You know, it's honestly a minor form of gambling for a jammer to wait to try and call off that jam. Like, am I going to be able to pick up the extra point? Right, exactly. That is Eve Angelico wearing the star for GNR. Headache jamming for the Heartless Heathers. I love watching Headache just push out a defense with brute force, and
that's their style.
Headache is amazing in that. You're going to be sorry to the penalty box. Charlie Chang, last line of defense up front, but Headache clears the pack with lead jammer. Meanwhile, Evan Helical just making it to the pivot line now where the pack is summarily stopped.
Guns and Rollers lose 2 to the penalty box.
And the rivers just parted for Headache to roll right through for 4.
That's a big one for the Heathers.
Well, and it allowed Headache to call off the jam with GNR having both of those blockers that you mentioned in the Wild CBD penalty box.
20-point game here. 7 minutes. Wow, it's already 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Wow, this game is bumping, it is moving, it's flying by.
It's going about as fast as these jammers are around the track. And speaking of jammers, lined up to jam in jam number 18. That's Zip for GNR, Little Red Rider for the Heartless Heathers. Again, remember, GNR starting with 2 blockers in the box. Tenacity trying to play defense out front, but Little Red Rider around. Lead jammer going to the Heartless Heathers. GNR losing another blocker to the penalty box. Oh, excuse me, they lost Zip to the penalty box. It's now a power jam for the Heathers. Down 20 right now, but with the ability to score. Forearm penalty was a penalty that was assessed to Zip. Heathers did not get any points on that jam, opting instead to call it off, reset, and start the next jam with no jammer opposition and still 1 blocker in the penalty box for GNR.
Get some fresh legs out there. Put them on Bunny Thunders, if you will.
And surprise of all surprises.
Oh, is Eagle going to jam against Bonnie Thunders?
No, because Zip is in the penalty box. It's just Bonnie Thunders with the power start and quick lead jammer right there, less than 3 seconds.
This is what Bonnie needed.
Zip now the lone skater in the Wild CBD penalty box. Thunder's still in a power jam, working the outside rail, does. Got to get by Beans and Tenacity up front, goes to the outside and clears for 4. Zip now standing in the penalty box, waiting to be released, and has been. Remember, Zip has not cleared the initial pass on this jam.
Wow, tough defense there by Tenacity and Beans, and Bonnie Thunders just rolls right on out of it, outside of turn 1, picking up 4 more.
8 points so far, and Zip has not cleared the initial pass. Now finally has. Thunder should be able to at least pick up 4 more on this scoring pass. Tries to go to the inside, but shut down. May not get all 4. Nope, got 3 of the 4 instead.
Well, you know what? That is Bonnie Thunder's 3rd double-digit scoring jam in this game so far.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, and interesting because we saw Thunder's losing lead jammer to Scald Eagle multiple times to start the game. Heathers have now made this a 9-point game with just over 5 minutes left to play in the first half. We are about to embark on jam number 20 already.
I count 41 points for Bonnie Thunders so far.
Holy cow. Scald Eagle jamming opposite Mia Palau, and Scald Eagle through the pack quickly and first with your lead jammer. Palau working against the inside. Charlie Chang on the inside defense. Scald Eagle already at the back of the pack, being held up by Sassy and Tarantula. Scald Eagle dancing left to right, moves to the inside now and clears the pack for 4. Meanwhile, Palau has run into a wall that is the mass of pack set up just at the exit of turn 2. Palau looking to set up and play defense with the rest of the Heartless Heathers blockers. Force Scald Eagle to the inside and a reset now.
Yeah, give everybody a moment to breathe. 3 more points there.
Palau on the huge drawback is what forced Eagle to call the jam, but Eagle already had 7 points in that jam. GNR re-extending their lead to 16 as we come upon 4 minutes to play in the first half.
That makes for Eagle 6 jams, 6 leads, 34 points to Bonnie Thunder's 41 points. Isn't that interesting?
That's amazing. And now we have we have Guns N' Rollers with 8 penalties so far this game. Heartless Heathers with 7. So even that pendulum has swung slightly. Force Majeure jamming for the Heartless Heathers opposite Liquor and Split. Liquor and Split going to the outside, taking in a jersey whip off a teammate, battling Stan at the front of the pack.
Oh, man.
Stan now getting some help at the front, but Liquor and Split forces through and acquires lead jammer for GNR.
Great discipline there by Stan and Dez, not picking up a penalty in a delicate situation.
Force taking the star off, faked a pass, keeps the star though. Tenacity knows exactly where it is.
Liquor again getting held up right in front of that GNR bench. Seems to be some molasses on the track over on that straightaway.
MC slammer to the penalty box for GNR. Force Majeure, one to beat up front. That's Tenacity with the exit hit, but goes out of bounds as well.
Gonna play it safe.
Right, Force being super safe, being dragged all the way back to the middle of the far straightaway. Now gonna have to work through again. Oh my gosh, had Purchase on the outside.
Just to stand up right in front of Tenacity and Beans. Yeah.
Yes.
Stab Mittens.
No, Stab Mittens, excuse me, you're right. Tenacity is everywhere as an opposing jammer. You do not want to have them. It's just...
Also, big shout out to Stab Mittens, somebody who came up through our Wreckers program, put the time in. What a talented hard-working skater. I hope it pays off for them and the whole team tonight.
And getting huge track time tonight as well.
Earned it all season. 84-64, we got ourselves a 20-point game.
2 minutes, 8 seconds left to play. Evan Helical versus Headache as your jammers in, what is this, Jam 22? Holy cow.
Yep. Less than 2 minutes remaining on the game clock.
Number of skaters go down in the first turn. Headache is still standing, battling against Charlie Chang at the front of the pack, goes to the outside and clears with lead jammer. Evan Helical also clear, giving up maybe a quarter of the track to Headache.
So fast.
Hellslinger in the backfield.
Oh my goodness, checks!
Wow.
That did not go the way that Hetty wanted it.
No, 2 points picked up by GNR. Heartless Heathers shut out of that jam. 22 points, the difference between the two teams. $1:20 left to play in the first half.
Well, Bonnie put up that 11-point jam about 4 jams ago, but the Heathers have been scoreless since.
Well,
very interesting.
Scald Eagle opposite Bonnie Thunders, a jammer matchup we've seen multiple times so far. Scald Eagle.
Some whistles. We're going to lose the one and only Shredder Cheese to the penalty box. I'll talk to her about that later.
Scald Eagle goes to the outside, gets around everybody and is clear for lead jammer. MC Slammer to the penalty box. Thunders goes down in turn 2, quickly recovers. One to beat and does, giving up about 2/3 to 3/4 of the track to Scald Eagle. Scald Eagle, an easy trip through the pack with only Stan out there to play defense. On a Roll back out on the track, had to check in with the penalty box because I believe On a Roll has a penalty being held.
Yep, they have one in queue and On a Roll.
Checking in to see how much time is left on the blockers' penalties. Is going to have to go out and start this jam and then report to the penalty box when one of those two blockers is released. Wow.
Eagle, 7 jams, 7 leads, 100% lead jammer percentage.
I mean, what can you do about that? That's really tough to defend. Zip jamming out there right now. Stan with the exit hit out front. Stan more or less stays in bounds, enough to force Zip to recycle. That allows Mia Palau. Mia Palau is not your lead jammer. Zip awarded that and then quickly calls off the jam. Still with 2 Heathers blockers in the penalty box, but GNR losing a pair of blockers.
That was the first half of the game, and it's like over now. What's happening?
There's some confusion down onto the track as to whether or not that jam should have been called off. The Heartless Heathers thought that they had lead jammer. They were unaware that GNR had picked up lead jammer in turn 2. It was awarded, whether correctly or incorrectly, it was awarded, and GNR, using their lead jammer status, called off the jam. I believe we're going to have an official review before we go to intermission here.
Absolutely.
First period, we had a sustained no pack, which resulted in 2 GNR blockers and 1 Heartless Heather blocker being sent to the box. Due to some erroneous errors, we believe that was done in error. After the official review, we reviewed the call. The original call will stand. Those 2 GNR blockers and the 1 Heartless Heather blocker are now in the box, and we'll go ahead and start the second half.
So there you have it, Derby fans. That is your explanation from head referee doesn't matter.
Don't you hate it when there's erroneous errors?
Well, you know, I will say this. Though they thought there were erroneous errors, they double-checked and reviewed everything and made sure that they got it right. They feel as though they have the correct skaters in the box to start the second half. Both teams going to start down 2 jammers. The Heathers, or 2 blockers each. The Heathers have their jammer.
No, that's 3 blockers.
No, that's 3 blockers. You're right.
They just want to play with Tarantula. Tarantula's got it.
So with 26 points separating the 2 teams, we begin the second half. 30 minutes left to play until one of these 2 teams is crowned a champion. Bonnie Thunder's out jamming right now and is clear, and your lead jammer. Zip now clear on the initial pass, giving up about a quarter of the track.
Bonnie not with a huge lead jammer percentage in the first half, but is the highest scoring jammer of the game so far at 41.
And added
Let's make
4
that
more.
45 points.
That's right. Your penalty count in the first half, 12 penalties picked up by GNR, 10 penalties picked up by the Heartless Heathers. So only a difference of 2 and a 26-point game at the half.
Here comes Eagle, who jammed 7 times and got 7 lead jammers. Picked up 38 points.
Wow.
Yeah, that's real
More
good.
than 5 a jam. And
Yeah.
so, wow. I mean, the type of performance that Rose City fans have come to expect from Scald Eagle year after year. And Scald Eagle taking a jersey whip off the inside, gets knocked to the inside. Meanwhile, Mia pull out. No pass, no penalty, no lead jammer. Scald Eagle can still pick up lead. Does not call off the jam until points are scored. 4 of them, in fact, by the Heathers.
Well, Eagle maintaining that perfect 100% lead jammer status, being in control, checking in there with the jammer ref. And at the end of that, 4 points there.
21 points now. The difference is we are working through the opening minutes of the second half. I believe that's Headache down there on the jam line opposite Evan Helical.
Now, Helical jammed a few times in the first half, not very successful in every jam, but as always has at least one double-digit jam that just changes the trajectory of the game. Helical put up a 20-point jam halfway through the first period.
Evan Helical is your lead jammer, had about a half-track lead on Evan Helical, who slides into the pack in turn 1.
Yep, that was Hetty with the lead, picking up 3. So, hey, the Heathers starting out this second period with shutting out. Well, I guess, okay, the Guns N' Rollers picked up 3 in a previous jam, but the Heathers putting up 4, putting up 4, and putting up 3.
Right, so that is a +8 on their side of the board, have trimmed the lead from 26 to 18. We are 2.5 minutes into the second half. This time it's Zip jamming against Bonnie Thunders, and that quickly Bonnie Thunders is already your lead jammer. Heather starting with 1 in the box, as is GNR. Zip clear on the initial pass, but giving up about 3/4 of the track to Thunders. Thunders trying to find purchase on the inside, does not. I believe a penalty was whistled against Thunders. High block.
Indeed.
High block sends Thunders to the penalty box. Zip now in a power jam. Since Thunders was your lead jammer, this one's going the full 2 minutes. Zip clears for 4. GNR with 1 blocker in the box. Bonnie Thunders jammer in the box for the Heathers. Zip now to the back of the pack, which is set up shop at the entrance to turn 3. On a roll with the recycle, bringing blockers back. Making Zip's job getting through this time around that much harder. Oh, Zip had purchase on the inside and was met by the stone wall of Dez at the front of the pack.
Oh, that's HR meeting back up with Dez, just locking it down right on top of Zip.
Thunder's back out on the track, gets around Yoganabisari and clears for the completion of a 4-point scoring pass that had been worked on prior to the penalty.
On a roll, Dez, Tarantula, and HR holding it down for the Heathers. Excellent defense right in front of that wild CBD penalty box.
Thunder's being reminded by OMG that They do not have lead jammer in this jam.
Well, they did.
Yes, they did. Pack in transition in turn 3. Thunders pops out front, now clear on another 4-point scoring pass. 12-8 now the score in the jam. Heathers with the advantage. Zip being held at bay in turn 3. Switches up to play jammer penalty, and Bonnie Thunders just skips over everybody.
Didn't need to be the giant leap that you see Eagle do 20 feet. It was literally a skip. It was effective, it was controlled, and it was safe, and it was 4 more points.
For Thunders going to the penalty box, that was an impressive jam for the Heathers. A 16-10 6-point victory in that jam. 12 points now separating.
That's the second time Bonnie has put up 16 points after serving a minute in the penalty box, Checks.
Just ridiculous.
103.91.
You said this early in the first half. You have two teams that play a different style of derby, and the clash between the two teams has resulted in an impressive game so far. And speaking of impressive, Scald Eagles, your lead jammer, Mia Palau giving up about a third of the track. Eagle coming around to turn 1, slalom through. You're right, MC Slammer on the offense there, wow. 4-0, hit it and quit it for GNR, going back to what worked for them solidly in the first half. Take the points, shut it down, let the time bleed off the clock.
Like to give a big thank you to Jam on Hawthorne, sponsor of our Jammer line. Portland's best vegan-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast. Thank you, Jam on Hawthorne.
107-91, 24-15 left to play in the game. In the 2022 season, actually, sadly. That is force majeure jamming for the Heathers opposite Liquor and Split. Liquor and Split got to get around Tarantula. Big whistles at the front of the pack. Heathers losing Marzipan to the penalty box, I believe. Liquor is your lead jammer. Direction of play penalty being whistled, and it looks like Sassy going off the track for that for the Heathers. Heathers now down to 2 blockers. Charlie Chang back to play inverse offense. That's enough to free Liquor and Split along the far straightaway. 4 points on GNR's side of the board so far this jam.
HR trying to get those Heathers back together. Smush pushing up at the top of the pack.
Yeah, Four's just battling it out at the front of the pack, but meanwhile, Liquor and Split making quick work of the back of the pack. 8 points so far this jam, calls it off. Sassy standing in the penalty box for the Heathers.
GNR certainly having some dominance these last few jams, putting up 8 points this jam, 4 the jam before, 10 before that.
They still haven't reestablished the lead that they had at halftime. They are up by 24, but they had a 26-point break, or a 26-point lead going into the break. This game has been ridiculously fast. Bonnie Thunder's opposite E. Van Helikel. Bonnie Thunder's already working against the front of the pack. Beans trying to hold back, does get some reinforcements. But it's Thunders through the pack to lead jammer. E. Van Helikel having a hard time working against the back of the pack.
Bonnie certainly having a stronger second half, 3 for 3 so far.
On a roll, doing a great job of defense with Tarantula, but E. Van Helikel escapes. Thunders clears the pack, picks up 4 points, and calls off the jam.
That was a 3-jam, no score streak, putting up those 4 after the last time they scored was when Bonnie was up and put up 16. That takes us 115 to 95. Makes it easy to count.
Fans, I'd like to take a moment or two and thank the folks that we have here helping us out with the broadcast. CJ, India, and Evie, thank you so very much. They've been helping to bring you all of the action this evening. And a big shout out to Speed Bump as well for helping to get us set up with all of the equipment here in the hangar.
And for being just generally awesome.
Awesome. That is true. Scald Eagle jamming against Little Red Rider. Scald Eagle to the outside, clear on the initial pass. Lead jammer going to GNR.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Little Red Rider doing battle with Yo Gonna Be Sorry at the front of the pack, eventually gets the best. Scald Eagle gonna try and burn time off the penalty.
No pack being declared there, it gets reassessed.
Somebody lost a wheel down in turn 2.
You don't need all of those wheels.
I'm not sure who that is or what happened. Like multiple wheels gone.
Stat Mittens picks up a wheel.
OMG picked up a wheel on the bench. Scald Eagle dancing through the pack for 4 points. Little Red Rider clear for 4.
Nobby reporting to the Wild CBD penalty box. Still no idea who's skating with less wheels than necessary.
Don't know if it's a referee or what's going on. Scald Eagle through for another 4 points. Gonna keep the jam going, it looks like. Little Red Rider clears for 4. 12-8 your score in this jam right now. GNR losing another blocker to the penalty box.
Wow. That is as packed as it gets in the penalty box for GNR.
Scald Eagle through for 4. Little Red Rider through for 4.
What the
You
heck?
get 4 points. You get 4 points. Melons, you got 4 points on this jam. Scald Eagle through for another 4. Holy cow, what a hit in the backfield.
Wow.
Wow.
Red just needing to take a breath there. Stab Mittens, great sports person, checking on Red.
Yeah, Stab Mittens with the big hit at turn 1. That jam was bonkers. 32 points between the two teams. 20 for GNR, 12 for the Heathers.
I still don't know whose wheels those were.
Right. We have an official timeout down on the track. There we go. I see a skate being worked on.
So it was a Guns and Roller. Was that helical?
Oh, that's such a good question.
I see helical tying
a skate. Yeah. I can't see if...
hey, how about GNR putting up 20 points with 3 blockers in the penalty box?
We've seen so many weird things this game. Oh, no. 7:57, excuse me. That's Morgan Levy.
I don't need wheels.
This game has been bonkers. Wow.
20 minutes remaining in this championship. About 3 years in the making at the Rose City Rollers.
Zip opposite Headache. Those are your two jammers in this jam. Headache knocked down to start, now forced to the inside. Meanwhile, Zip, I think being forced to the outside, I don't think that was a conscious choice. Nice defense by Shredder Cheese and stand at the front of the pack. Zip goes low to the outside. Oh, what a great exit hit. Oh my gosh, Freddie Herfury with the exit hit in the forefield, and it's Headache through, picking up lead jammer for the Heartless Heathers.
Truly a team effort there.
These jams are just getting more and more intense as time winds down in the second half. Zip clear on the initial pass. Headache in the pack scoring points, calls off the jam. Picks up 2. Holy cow.
Wow. 2 points there. Let's take a breath and thank a sponsor like Rebel Heart Therapy.
Nice timing.
Rebel Heart Therapy, individual and relational therapy for Portland's black sheep and unicorns. Are you a black sheep or a unicorn, Mike Chucks?
I am a black unicorn.
I knew that.
Or I'm a unicorn or a sheep with a horn. I'm not really sure.
A sheepacorn.
A sheepacorn. There we go. Yep. So the lead back to 26 for GNR, exactly what they started with at the beginning of the half. 11 and a half minutes have ticked off the clock in the second half. Bonnie Thunders is your lead jammer opposite Evan Helical, who is now clear on the initial pass, but giving up 2/3 the track.
Bonnie's now 4 for 4. Right through the middle, able to shake off Nobby, now able to shake off Charlie Chang.
Right, Heathers losing their pivot to the penalty box. Thunders with 4 points already this jam. Forearm penalty being whistled in turn 2. Evan Helical clears for 4 points. Thunders now clears for 4 points. And again, we're having a points tirade in this jam. Heathers have lost 2 blockers. GNR only has 3 blockers out on the track, but nobody in the penalty box.
Interesting. Let me check your math. 1, 2, 3, and a jammer. Oops. Hope that doesn't burn them later.
So Bonnie Thunder's getting 4 points for every scoring pass. Oh, and Bonnie jumps turn 3. Looks to call off the jam, waiting, now calls it off after the penalty box is cleared.
Oh,
beautiful job
textbook.
and of course we should expect that. Team timeout being called by GNR. Why? Because the Heartless Heathers picked up 8 points in that jam and have closed the lead to 18 once again.
143 to 125. Team timeout here taken by Guns and Rollers. They will have 1 remaining team timeout after this, as well as their official review available to them. Heartless Heathers still have 2 timeouts available to them, as well as their official review.
So Heathers have picked up 5 penalties in this half already. They had 10 total in the first half. Their total now is 15.
That checks out mathematically. should say at the top.
Oh, well, I'm not used to all of this fancy stuff
I know, we
here.
have like some information available to us.
Right, so GNR has 17 penalties now. They ended the first half with 12, so both teams have picked up 5 penalties so far this half.
Big shout out to Shebop, Portland Vital Signs, Dye, my darling hair salon, and
Which is-
what you got to say about
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that's the greatest name for a hair salon.
Dye, my darling hair salon.
Absolutely fabulous. And their
CC
poster over there is
what?
amazing.
Oh, it's like
Above
this
the
like
Heather's bench?
zombie, like old school. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Dye.
Mia Palau jamming for the Heathers. Scald Eagle jamming for GNR. It's Palau at the front of the pack, but goes down right at the entrance to turn 1. Palau working on the inside, finds room, and is your lead jammer.
First time Eagle has not acquired lead jammer.
Excellent defense in the backfield. Freddie Herfury doing the work. Scald Eagle one to beat up front. That's Tarantula gets by, and Scald Eagle clear on the initial pass, but Palau already picking up points in the pack. Calls off the jam from the floor, but already had 4 on the board.
Yeah, Beans really had Mia's number in that jam, but did lose their point, but sure probably saved another lap from happening. 4 points there for the Heathers. 143-129, 16 and a half minutes remaining.
Lead has constricted back to 14 points. Been a very back and forth second half.
Liquor in for her second jam of the second half.
Opposite Headache jamming for the Heathers. Look like Headache, and Headache now clear with lead jammer for the Heathers. Star Pass went to Tenacity. Tenacity now the jammer of record for GNR, giving up slightly more than half the track. Sassy to the penalty box for the Heartless Heathers. A whip from Tarantula propels Headache through the pack. And Nabi escorts Headache to the outside of turn 3 where the jam is called. 2-0 jam in favor of the Heathers.
Well, check this out. In the last 4 jams, the Heathers have picked up 4 lead jammer statuses, and they've also put up 23 points compared to 8 points to the Guns N' Rollers. So we have a little bit of a momentum shift, and you're seeing that score creep ever closer together.
The big question is, are the sands of time going to reach the bottom of the glass before GNR's lead dissolves? 143-131 Zip v. Bonnie Thunders in jam 13 of the second half. Thunders tries to find purchase on the outside of the front straightaway, cannot, goes to work back through the middle. Looks like Zip is trying to do the same thing. Pack is constricted, just starting to make it past the pivot line. And now all skaters that are on the track have passed the pivot line. Crash offense coming outside to in from MC Slammer. Zip trying to ride that rail, knocked out by Stan in the backfield. Now gonna have to reset. Sassy comes in from the penalty box. Thunders trying to push out. MC Slammer the last to beat, and Thunders is your lead jammer 43 seconds into this jam. Thunders already around, working on a scoring pass now. Goes to work on the outside, now back to the middle. Meanwhile, Cap off of GNR's jammer, fighting against the defense in the backfield. Thunders clears for 4. MC Slammer back to play offense out to in. Not enough to free Zip entirely, but enough to help catch Thunders on the next scoring pass. Pack now slowed up at the beginning of the far straightaway. Not quite to the beginning of the Wild CBD penalty box.
Really grinding it out here.
Thunders finding room on the inside. Clears for another 4 points. 8 points so far this jam, and we have a 4-point game.
Wow.
If Thunders can clear one more scoring pass in the next 23 seconds, we will have ourselves a tie. Thunders now on the outside. Tries to find room on the inside. Zip still somewhere in that pack.
Wow.
Thunders to the outside. Tenacity battling out front. Wow. Tenacity with the exit hit for a 4-off penalty. Zip is clear.
Great
Thunders
call.
with 4 points and a tie game.
Wow. Wow. 143 all. And I'll just say, so we're 13 jams into the second period. If the second period were all the game, like if this were the first period, the Heathers have put up 67 plus 12 points, and the Guns N' Rollers have put up 53 points. And the Heathers are on a 5-lead jammer streak.
The Heathers have laid waste to GNR's 26-point halftime lead and have tied this up. Scald Eagle out on the track and his lead jammer for GNR. Mia Palau already clear on the initial, giving up maybe 5 strides. Eagle now around to the far straightaway. Pack in turn 3, quickly moving to turn 4. Scald Eagle goes down.
2 points for the Heathers.
2 points for the Heathers, 4 for GNR, and I'll be honest, I thought Scald was going to get whistled for a track cut penalty there. I thought a wheel came down on the inside of the track, but apparently not. My vantage point is nowhere near as good as our referee crew.
Mike Checks, I got a theory. I feel like Bonnie Thunders is extremely effective in this half because she's not being matched up with Scald Eagle. Scald Eagle is going to make damage every single jam no matter what, and Bonnie was being neutralized by that. Set Bonnie free, and this is what happens.
We've got headache jamming for the Heathers. Evangelical jammer of record for GNR. Nice drawback by Stab Mittens. Evangelical clears with lead jammer. Pack now to the pivot line. Evangelical already around the track, engaging the back of the pack on a scoring pass.
Beautiful.
Dances to the outside. And beautiful stationary defense by the GNR blockers allows Evangelical through for 4.
Yeah, big shout out there to Stab Mittens and Levy. Right over the inside, there we go, closed up by Freddie. No free apex jumps there.
I thought the star had been passed to Tenacity, but no, it had not.
Psych.
Yep.
Hetty just pushing through as they do.
I don't know if Hetty's trying to get the cap to Stan or not.
Probably not. There we go. Nope. Over, under, around. Stan has the hat.
Now if Stan could just get through the pack, we'd have it completed. And look at that defense at the front of the pack. Are you kidding me, Tenacity?
Tenacity
Wow.
is very serious about this defense.
Wow.
That's the first star pass for the Heathers. And that did help stop any bleeding this jam. 7 points for the Guns N' Rollers. They're ahead now by 9 points.
10 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the second half. Wow. Okay, where the first half had the speed, this half has like full out tenacity by both teams. As far as you're not going to see anybody with any breath on either of these benches at the end of this game. Scald Eagle v Bonnie Thunders, and it's Scald Eagle again, lead jammer. Thunders giving up less than half the track. Eagle already are working through the far straightaway.
Hey, Guns N' Rollers already doing the work by grabbing Tarantula as a goat. That's not easy to do. Extremely effective. Really allowing that 4-point jam there by Eagle.
So after tying the game, the Heathers have given up 13 points.
In the last 3 jams, the Heathers have only scored 2 points, whereas the Guns N' Rollers have put up 15.
And that is your difference in this game right now, as we are inside 9.5 minutes left to play in the second half. Zip opposite Mia Palau, and I didn't even see Zip get through the pack. That's amazing.
For you folks at home, that blur across your screen in black was Zip picking up lead. Oh, big force out there by Anna.
Heathers picking up a point, though.
0-1 jam, while...
No, GNR's got points. They're just, the referees are discussing down here by the pivot line. 1 apiece. 0-point differential. Oh my gosh.
Take a quick opportunity here to thank Two Towns Cider. Damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you, Two Towns Cider.
I do unashamedly love me some Two Towns Cider. Liquor and Split opposite Little Red Rider. Little Red Rider at the front of the pack. Liquor and Split being recycled to the pack, and it's Little Red Rider through for lead jammer. This is exactly what the Heathers needed with less than 8.5 minutes to play, and a star pass to Y'all Gonna Be Sorry.
Ooh, cool.
Nice move by Little Red Rider. Wants that 4th point.
Levy not wanting to let her.
Illegal star pass, I believe. And it was. Yoga to be sorry having to give the star back to Liquor and Split. 4-point scoring pass completed by the Heathers. That's cut the lead to 9.
For a big one there. Whew. 8 minutes remain in this championship bout. 9 points separate these two teams.
You know, fans, a lot of the talk between games 1 and 2 tonight was the fact that the first game between the Breakneck Betties and the High Rollers set such an extremely high bar for the gameplay throughout the game, and the fact that it was tight all the way down to the final jam. Kudos to this game for rising to the occasion.
Absolutely.
Bonnie Thunder's opposite Evan Helical. Thunders moves to the inside now, back to the middle. Evan Helical on the outside, one to beat up front, but unfortunately that stand. Evan Helical gets through, lead jammer goes to GNR.
Bonnie still trying to find her way through, moves to the outside, manages to break away from MC Slammer.
Has to get around Beans and does. Penalty being called on the Heathers. Wow. 4-0 jam in favor of GNR.
GNR, you know, at this point, 7 minutes remaining in the game. It's a 13-point lead. That's not much, but you just kind of want to keep chipping away. You don't want to do anything crazy here. Their first league championships on the line.
Heather's going to start with one blocker in the box. Scald Eagle opposite Headache for this jam. This is jam number 20 in the second half. Scald Eagle trying to push out Tarantula and Sassy at the front of the pack. Trying to get around Sassy, finally does, and is declared lead jammer. Headache already with the star off in the backfield, looking to try and get the cap to Tarantula, I think.
Tarantula doesn't want it. I got to play defense.
Scald.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's fine. Give me.
Scald Eagle clears for 4 points.
Watch that apex. Watch this big jump.
I don't know if Headache is faking that pass or not. Scald Eagle already works through the pack for 4 points. And it is Tarantula with the star now. Pack speeds up, already entering the second apex. Now around to the jam line. Scald Eagle works out to in, gets forced to the inside by Sassy, but picks up 3 more points in that jam. Total of 11. 24 points now, the lead for GNR.
Yes,
and my guess is a team timeout by the Heartless Heathers with 5 minutes and 32 seconds left to play.
All right, well, one of my expectations and bets of this game is about to be destroyed. Based on the triangulations of this season, I hadn't anticipated either team scoring more than 180 points this game. And here we have the Guns N' Rollers approaching 180. I really love when my expectations are blown to pieces.
We have 5.5 minutes left.
So with 5 minutes and 32 seconds left to play, GNR has served 20 penalties so far in this game. The Heartless Heathers 17.
Thank you again for tuning in at home. If you are having a watch party or enjoying yourself, please take a picture. Tag us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter with the handle @Rose City Rollers. And still, so much more roller derby coming at you this year. Keep checking out rosecityrollers.com.
So Mellons, we got ourselves 5 minutes, 32 seconds left in this game. Both teams down to one team timeout. Both of them have their second half official review. Bonnie Thunder's opposite Zip, and we have an empty Wild CBD penalty box to start this jam. Zip gaining the edge first, moving out front.
Oh,
Thunder's
beautiful jump right over Tarantula's radar of destruction.
Well, Bonnie Thunder's shrugged off a hit, exiting that pack. Already around, looking to engage. Zip clear on the initial pass. Thunders gets 4 and calls it off. Rolls the lead back to 25 minutes to go in the game.
Interestingly, 20 points being, totally achievable in one jam. I believe 20 points is the highest scoring point jam of the game. Helical put up a 20-point jam in the first period. Eagle with a 20-point jam in the second period.
So, Mellons, we saw the Heathers come back and tie GNR earlier in the second half, but I do not believe they've had the lead for a second yet this game, have they?
That's correct.
All right, Mia Palau, your lead jammer already. Evan Helic will clear the pack, but give it up about half the track. Mia Palau into the pack, looking to score. 2 wall of GNR blockers on the inside, holding back, but 2 more points picked up by the Heathers. 2-0 jam. 18 is what the lead has been cut to, but the time on the clock at 4 minutes.
Hey, have you seen our skate mobile? It's the party on wheels, packed with 150 plus pairs of skates and gear. We're ready to make any event a hit. Visit rosecityrollers.com for more information on how to book.
Here we go, Scald Eagle, Bonnie Thunders, 3 minutes 45 seconds left to play here in the second half. GNR with an 18-point edge. Scald Eagle gets around Tarantula, lead jammer goes to GNR. MC Slammer to the penalty box. Thunders with 1 to beat out front and does, gives up about half the track to Eagle though. Eagle already into the pack, meeting Tarantula head to head. Tarantula with the hit. Scald calls off the jam.
0.
Great point protection by the Heathers. No points scored. Team timeout. Heartless Heathers.
That's a great timeout. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left. The Heathers will still have their official review in their pocket. You had asked about the lead any lead changes, and yeah, no, the Heathers did not take the lead. They tied, and they came within 2. And then they started to lose the sights of lead.
Okay.
So they came, the tie came right smack dab in the middle of the second period, Jam 12. We're about to start Jam 24.
This is impressive. You know, it does make me wonder exactly how many times GNR has been behind at any point this season.
I took stats for most of those games, and I don't think they were. I mean, all of their games were pretty handily.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They might have gone first to final whistle in 2022 without ever having been behind.
Yeah. I think that's definitely right on par.
3 minutes, 15 seconds left in the game.
Already on Jam 24.
Liquor and Split out to jam for GNR.
Maybe Liquor's last jam ever?
Quite possibly. Mia Palau jamming for the Heathers, and it's Mia Palau around the outside. Lead jammer going to the Heartless Heathers. Liquor and Split clear on the initial.
Oh,
no! Track cut penalty on Liquor and Split. Power jam for the Heathers.
Big opportunity here for the Heathers. Mia Palau breaking through for the first 4 of this pass.
Lead down to 18. Tarantula checks into the penalty box. MC Slammer now out.
Did she make that jump?
GNR looking.
No, don't take any chances, Mia. You're doing great.
Mia Palau gonna reset. Morgan Levy was with the exit hit. Now Levy leaving the track due to a direction of play penalty. MC Slammer, the defense out front. Picking up help from Charlie Chang.
Man, Charlie Chang and MC Slammer as a duo, for being pretty novice at the home team level, really crushing it.
A little surprised that the Heathers didn't choose to call off this jam earlier. Liquor and Split clear on the initial pass. Heathers picked up 4 on the initial, or 4 on the first scoring pass, and did pick up 4 on that second. We're down to a 10-point lead for GNR, but we are also down to 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the game.
Wow, we almost never have we're going to have more jams than my stats paper allows, because we, on average, have 24 jams per half, sometimes 25. We're going to have 26. Why not?
Yeah, wow. Both teams can still stop the clock. GNR with 1 team timeout and their official review. The Heathers down to their official review, and it's zipped through the pack. First lead jammer going to GNR.
Oh, interesting, because in this last jam, guess who they're going to jam from GNR?
Big surprise.
Oh, yes.
So Thunders clear on the initial, coming around to score. Zip calls off the jam. Heathers sneak 2 points. Zip only with 1, so a 1-point advantage to the Heathers. 9 points separate the two teams. A buck 22 on the clock, and a stoppage of play for an official review. That official review being called by the Heathers, and
Could be
it
used
appears
as a
they're
timeout.
just using it as a timeout. I don't see anybody approaching the head referee.
You know, and it's like it's kind of honor system. You could be like, I'm just using this as a timeout and give me 60 seconds. Or you could just make something up and make the refs sit there and think about it for 3 minutes, and that's not what they're doing, so I appreciate that.
That is exactly what Rob Lobster used to do back in the day.
Here's a drink for Rob Lobster.
You know what? I will
Only.
cheers to that. Rob at one point went out to the center at ECDX to ask the referee crew specifically what each of them had for breakfast.
That is something that Rob Lobster would ask at East Coast Extravaganza back in the day. We were just reminiscing, and we've both been involved in the sport 12, 14 plus years.
Yep, absolutely. And
as in love with it as ever.
Absolutely. Fans, $1:22 left on the clock. 9 points separating the teams. Mia Palau opposite Scald Eagle. We might get one more jam. If GNR picks up lead jammer, this will probably be the final jam. If the Heathers can pick up lead jammer, we might see one more jam after this. The pack not letting anybody skate anywhere.
Wow.
Scald Eagle pushing the entirety of the pack forward.
Tarantula trying not to give it up. One more to beat. Eagle might have it here.
Scald Eagle, lead jammer.
Play it cool. 50 seconds left on the period clock.
A little surprised that Eagle didn't just go into victory formation at the back of the pack.
And
Cleanly
stop.
makes it through for 4.
Got a star past the stand.
Scald Eagle and GNR in control of this jam. Eagle goes to the outside, darts back to the in. I cannot believe Scald Eagle is engaging the pack, but has put 8 points on the board so far.
Nothing at this point to lose. You get a penalty. Tarantula's probably going to pick up a direction of play penalty there. Eagles got nothing to lose because
I don't know
they go
that
to the box.
I don't know that the skaters can hear the referees yelling right now.
No, they cannot.
Beans to the penalty box
she's
for
gonna get a second
GNR.
penalty.
There you go.
Yep. That's 2.
Yep, there's the insubordination.
Can't hear it.
Right. Scald Eagle being dragged back by Mia Palau. The period clock has hit 0. Scald can call this off at any time. Clears on another 4-point scoring pass and is like, I'm not done yet, thank you.
Well, this is what the Rose City Rollers
Oh.
Get those wings out.
Wow. Vintage Scald Eagle on that scoring pass.
Every second of this available to Eagle will be a scoring pass. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Scald Eagle, I believe a 19-point jam at the end of the game.
Not only ends the game, Melons, but ends the years-long curse that GNR has seemingly been under, unable to procure a championship. They've come close a couple of times before. They were undefeated in the pandemic season, and we did not get to have a championship bout that year.
It's got to feel so good. This is literally, what, 15 years in the making?
Yes, that was...
We have some real OG skaters in the house tonight. Layla
we have
Smackdown,
a ton of OG
Beth.
skaters in the house tonight, you bet.
Ton of wonderful alumni here to support the Guns N' Rollers in their first ever Rose City Rollers season championship. Well earned.
I believe I've seen Micro Bruiser here. I believe I've seen Henri O'Hooligan here. Napalm Beth, I believe, spent time with GNR back in the early years. Of course, Rocket Mean, one of the OGest of OGs.
You can't get more OG than that.
You really can't. What an amazing win for GNR. What a great response from the crowd. I don't know that we've had a championship where we've had 2 games as close as the ones we had tonight.
No, definitely not. Well, it was a pleasure and a privilege to call a game of this caliber. This is the best roller derby in the world. We just saw it. We have Team USA skaters. We have skaters from all across the world playing here tonight in our championship this year, 2022, going to the Guns N' Rollers. I'm going to let y'all at home enjoy this and stop listening to my voice.
We'll kick it down to the floor for the MVP awards and the trophy awards. So fans, please stick with the broadcast. Melons and I are going to peace out. Thank you so much for enjoying this game with us. I hope it was as enjoyable for you to take in as it was for us to bring it to you. So again, thank you very much.
Thank
friends.
you. Cheers, and be safe out there.
Thanks, Melons. Wonderful job tonight.
Who do you have for MVP Jammer?
Hetty.
Hetty! And MVP blocker?
Stan.
Stan! MVP
Jammer. Eagle.
Scott Eagle. And that leaves MVP blocker.
Tenacity.
Tenacity.
Do you want a prize? Do you want a prize?
And with the final word, I have Rocket Bean.
All right, I would like to say one thing. As the... Shh. That's Jonna. She's loud. I would like to say that I love every team in Rose City Rollers, always have every single generation. But I am so happy that right now GNR finally broke the curse of Rocket Mean. Thank you so much. As the first captain, it felt like they were doomed to lose forever because of me. So thanks, y'all. So next year, up in the air for everyone. I want to thank you guys, all of the skaters that went through all the rigmarole of coming back and skating this year. It wasn't easy. It's taken a lot. All the volunteers, the officials, the staff, everybody really busted ass this entire year. The fans, you really did it too, like just sticking with us and coming to like limited games, showing your vax cards, wearing the masks, all that kind of jazz. Skaters, you did everything to skate during a pandemic, to bring Derby back. I thank you all so much. It was just amazing. It's so glad for Derby to be back here in Portland, and I look forward to us helping bring back Derby on a grander scale to the rest of the leagues that didn't have it as good as us. Rose City Rollers 2022, look forward to more great shit from you guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for making this a great year. Thank you so much. We will see you next weekend for Purple versus White and the return of Wheels of Justice. Thanks, you guys. Have a great time. We'll see you at the after party.